All right, hello, welcome back to the story time. Still working at the the club in Yokohama, and now at this point, I've been there for a little while. I'm getting pretty popular. The club is pretty busy. A lot of people know it. Trying to make relationships with the other clubs. Some of them we don't get along with because we're taking their clients, they're taking ours. I could care less. I mean, we were packed as it was, so it wasn't really an issue for me. And I remember one time I did an interview for a magazine for Yokohama, and it talked about popular faces of Yokohama who run things or who did things, run restaurants, clubs, bars, or whatever. So they interviewed me, and it felt good. So one time I was on the train going to the club, and this elderly guy, he's sitting down, he's looking up at me, and I had sunglasses on, and it's the weekend, so I probably only slept like 2 hours, so I'm tired. And this guy's just staring at me, and he's staring at me, it's common in Japan when you're a foreigner, you look different, your eye color is different, your hair is different. They look at you. Some people, it doesn't mean they're racist or they don't like you. I mean, sometimes it does, but usually it's just they're intrigued or they're interested. So I'm standing there and I'm just sitting there and he keeps staring at me, just mouth open, looking straight up at me. And I got a little frustrated after about 15, 20 minutes. So I was like, look, what? Yes, I'm a foreigner. I'm sorry if it bothers you. I can't do nothing about it. And he points up above my head. And so there's billboards like on the train that go all the way down the top of the train. If you've ever been on a train, there's on the walls, there's signs and stuff. And they're clean. Of course, Japanese trains are all clean. So I look up and there's some advertisement for whatever, women's health care or something like that. It's just an advertisement. I was like, what? And he points up again, but to the other side. And I look on the other side and it's that advertising for the magazine I did, but it's my face in the middle all the way down the train. Just just popular faces of Yokohama, and my face is in the middle, big, and it's got all these little faces, and it's just all the way down the train. It was so embarrassing. I felt like such an idiot. I didn't ride the train for a week until they changed that advertising. So that was that was a it was honorable, of course. I mean, I got my picture on the train, but it was embarrassing. I mean, you don't know how to react to it if that's not your life. So did that. I've been in a couple TV shows, and I used to do when I first got here. I did a couple game shows, and they ask you to come on, a foreigner who speaks Japanese and things like that. You become a hot commodity because you look foreign. But my Japanese was okay, but it wasn't perfect. And I did one show around the time I started working. I did one show, and simple questions: Where are you from? How old are you? These comedians, these famous comedians, asked me these questions, and I just answered them. And they made jokes, ha ha ha. But when it aired, it was subtitled at the bottom, like my Japanese. That just just embarrassed me. It destroyed me. So after that, I refused to do any TV shows for a couple of years. And then I think like 2 or 3 years later, I was asked to do another TV show at the club where a famous Yakumaru, I think is his name. He does this like TV show where he talks about different places. And this guy, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, I don't like to talk bad about people, but this guy, he comes in, we're getting ready to shoot, and I didn't want to do it. I was like, use the other staff, but they were like, they want you, they want you. They saw me in something, the magazine or whatever, and I was like, all right. And this guy comes in, and he's like, I don't want this and do this and hurry up. And you could tell he's tired. He probably didn't sleep. He just wanted to hurry up and get it done. And so the screen is, I'm behind the bar. He comes in like we haven't seen each other in 5 years, best friends from our childhood or whatever. And we just start talking. He asks me how I'm doing, what's up, how's business, and make him a drink. So I make him a drink and flip some bottles, do a little flair. So he's just yelling at everybody and just being a difficult person, which that's fine. I mean, to each is their own. I meet a lot of celebrities, and I've dealt with a lot of different people. And I try to give them the first benefit of the doubt for that first time or second time because we've all had a bad day. We've all had that day where we fought with our loved ones, our spouse, our son, our kid, our daughter, our pet, whatever it is. Maybe your dog died or whatever. You come to work just not in the mood. and then somebody asks you a question that sets you off, or somebody says something, you snap. We've all been there. You fight with your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your partner or whoever, and then somebody says something, you're just like, what, leave me alone, or shut up, just mind your business. So we've all had that happen. I mean, it's human nature. You have a breaking point. So when I meet a celebrity, and I've met several that I've had to be very tolerant with, and I'll try not to say any names because, like I said, I don't want to bad talk anybody. It's just like, what? Why? How? What? So I give them the benefit. Maybe today was a bad day. Maybe something happened. Maybe they found out somebody in their family was sick or whatever. So I just let it be. And then, the next time I meet them, if it's the same attitude, it's kind of like, okay, well, if it's the same time, like around the same couple days, and I give it, maybe something really bad happened. But if it's like a year later and I meet them again and it's the exact same attitude, then I know, okay, that's that person. And then that's when I'm done with it. So when you see a celebrity on the street, or you see whoever, somebody you like, an artist, an actor, an athlete, and you try to ask them for an autograph, or you're trying to get a picture with them, and they say no, not today, or just leave me alone, or whatever, and you start getting on Instagram and Twitter, or whatever social media platform, TikTok, and you start bad mouthing them, like, I met this guy and he was a total dick, or I met this girl and she was rude and she was mean. Think about it for a second. What if that person's mother, father, daughter, son, animal, pet died that day? What if something extremely traumatic happened to them that day? They've just been crying all night. They don't feel like they look good enough for a picture, or they don't want a memorable day, like something to remember that day by, like a picture or something. Maybe, just maybe, think about that for a second before you start bad talking. Just give it that little bit of, possibility. It was just that day that, maybe something happened and they don't know what happened. Now, if that's just their attitude and their personality, then yeah, go ahead, do whatever you're going to do, blow it up. But just try to think about that for a day. What if it was you? What if you just found out your mother had cancer? You just got the call, and 3 minutes later, somebody come up to you and be like, hey, could you please sign this for me? Can I get a picture with you? Could you do a shout out on my TikTok or my Instagram? And would you do it? Really? Yes, their job is to be in the public eye, but come on, they're in it all the time. The paparazzi's following them, people are following them. Just please think about that for a second, because I deal with these athletes, I deal with these celebrities a lot, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, I've had to cover for people that are going through a divorce. They just got done fighting with their wife for 3 hours on the phone, and then the media wants to interview them about something, and it's just, it's just not the time. They're human. They, just because they're on movies and TV shows and they're in the public's eye, doesn't mean they don't have feelings, they don't have emotions, and they don't have, yeah, they can act or they can cry on the screen, but that doesn't mean they want to cry in front of you for real. So I'm sorry to go into that, but just people don't understand. It frustrates me. Give them a benefit of the doubt, and don't ever walk up to somebody eating and ask them for a picture or an autograph. It's just rude. When they're eating food, they don't want to touch your hands. They don't want to. They're eating. Give them that space. Just come up and be like, look, huge fan. I'll be here for a little while. If it's possible, after you're done eating, I would love to get a picture with you or an autograph or something. But I don't mean to bother you while you're eating. I know it's rude. If it's not possible, please just tell me. And if they're like, look, I'm sorry, I can't do that today. I don't sign pictures. I don't do autographs. Just take it. It's not their job to sign pictures or sign the autographs or take pictures with you. That's not their job. They're good at baseball. They're good at football. They're a good actor. They're just because they got good at what they do and they're well known for it doesn't mean they have to do that for you. You don't know the situation. So anyway, back to my original story. So this guy was having a bad day. He was yelling at people, and of course later on I found out that's just who he is, and that's how he is, because I met him before and I know people who know him and stuff. But I didn't care. I mean, he was not yelling at me. He was just yelling at everybody else, and wanting to hurry up and get done. He had something to do after this, so had cameras set up. The director and everybody's in place, and he's going off. He's like, this. I don't want to do this. What kind of this? I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Get this. And the director's okay, and so he's over here arguing with maybe his manager or maybe the AD, assistant director, or whatever it was. So the director on this side, I guess he didn't know what's going on. So he's just like, all right, action. And as soon as he said action, like split second, this guy turned around and came up to me. He's like, Bachi, how you been? I haven't seen you in so long. For one, I didn't even realize he remembered my name because when they were introducing us, he didn't even care. And two, I didn't know how he heard this because he was yelling at this guy. So he's just like, hey, Bachi, how you doing? It's been so long. How you been? How's the family? And it caught me off guard so much that I was just like this. I just had blank look on my face. I'm looking at him like he just caught me, surprised me that that's how professional the guy was. And I was just like, and I didn't know what to do. I was just done. And of course, the director like, cut, Bachi, are you okay? What's wrong? I was like, sorry, caught me off surprise. I wasn't ready. I apologize. My bad. I didn't mean to waste the film. I'm ready. Okay, so the guy goes back and in action, and he comes up, hey, Bachi, how you doing? Like, I'm good. How are you? And we talked. We did our whole little skit, and we did the whole thing. I made him a drink, and he's like, yeah, I want to come down to Yokohama more. I was like, yeah, you should. Let's go hang out. I know some good restaurants, and it was good. It went well. Director called cut. That's it. That's take. We're good. Guy was gone. Like, didn't even say thank you. Didn't even say nothing. He just out the door into his car, left. So that was one of my experiences with dealing with Japanese actors, but any actor on that. And like I said earlier, give a celebrity or athlete benefit of the doubt. Don't automatically think that they're an asshole or a dick, because you're not the only person that came up to him that day. You're not the last person to come up to him that day, and you're by far not going to be the only person in the next month that's bothered him or will bother him. So they have a breaking point. Just give them the benefit of the doubt. If they're in a bad mood, walk away. Just understand it, respect it. Because when you're in a bad mood, nobody posts about that. Your sister and brother post something on Instagram or Twitter about how you yelled at your mom because you couldn't get your PlayStation cables back or whatever. That's embarrassing. Well, think about it for them. That's what they deal with every day. Maybe they had a bad day. You never know. Ask them politely. Hey, I'm sorry to bother you. I know this is rude. I know I'm coming up out of nowhere. If it's possible, I'd love it. But if it's not, just be honest with me and I'll walk away. If you come at them like a human being, 99.9% of the time, they'll treat you like a human being. And they'll be like, look, originally I wouldn't do this because, I can't. I'm told not to take pictures and stuff like that. But I'll make an exception. You got to understand, it's not always their decision as well. A lot of times the agencies, their PR, their marketing, their whoever they're working with has told them no pictures today because of something, or let's not do any autographs, or things like that. They're told to cut back, or they're told to stop for certain reasons, and not knowing what reasons are, but there's certain things that tell them. So the manager tells them, hey, today let's not do any pictures because we need to keep your whereabouts off the radar for the day, because they're going to launch something big, or they don't want to leak any information or something. Just try to understand their situation. All right, well, that's my story for this 13 minutes. All right, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll think of something else. Talk to you later.